StraightAllDay.com.
4 modalities of being a professional. No matter what kind of professional you are, you could be a lawyer, real estate agent, a barber, a plumber, athlete. There are 4 modalities of the professional life. I'm going to tell you what each one is and how they matter and how they fit into your world if you plan on being a pro, or if you're out here calling yourself a pro but you ain't living like one. First modality is the workout. Now, workout and training are not the same thing. A lot of people talk about them like they're the same. They're not the same. A workout is about maintenance. So you work out just to maintain what you have so you don't lose it. So if I'm on vacation, for example, let's say I'm in really great shape, which I am, but let's just say you're in really great shape, and you go on a vacation, you might go to the hotel treadmill and knock out 2 miles. Not because you're necessarily trying to break some personal best record or anything, but you just want to maintain the shape that you have while you're on vacation. That's the purpose of a workout. It's just to maintain. You're not really trying to change anything, just keep what you got. You go to most gyms, most of the people you see in the gym, they're working out. And working out is about maintaining and just not getting worse, or at least try to slow down the process of physical deterioration. So when you go to most gyms, you see most of the people in there, they ain't pro athletes. They're not about to go compete against anybody. They're just trying to maintain what they got or not let it fall apart as fast as it would if they didn't work out. That's the purpose of working out. All right, so that's workouts. And sometimes professionals work out too. In the middle of a season, for example, a professional athlete or a team will have a workout which is designed to help them maintain their fitness and their shape, but it's not designed to push them too hard or beat their bodies up, because they might have a game in 3 days. So they just go through a light something just to keep themselves moving, break a sweat, but they're not trying to break a record. That's the workout. Second level is the training. The purpose of training is actually to get better. It's to push yourself past your current limit in some way, get better, sharpen your game, and it's done with intentionality, and there's some level of monitoring going on when you're training. When you're training, in some way you got to be looking at what you're doing, or somebody's looking at what you're doing and telling you, here's how we make this better, here's how we improve this, here's an area that can be brushed up on or sharpened. That's training. Notice that every professional athlete has a trainer on some level, whether you have a trainer right there on the team. A lot of professional athletes, the serious ones, have their own trainers outside of the team concept. Every individual athlete has a trainer or a coach. They may call them a coach, but their whole purpose is to train the athlete to help them improve. It's not just to help you keep what you have, it's to improve and get better from where you are. And that may be at the direction of the trainer / coach, or the direction of the player. Maybe it's a collaborative process. But the whole purpose of training is that you're trying to get better. This means you're pushing yourself in some way past your prior limits. That's how you continue to get better. Somehow you got to go past your comfort zone point and do something that you haven't done before in order for you to get better. Understand something. As a professional at what you do, you must do training that goes above and beyond what is required of you if you play, especially if you play a team sport. So if you play a team sport like baseball, football, basketball, hockey, yes, the team will have trainings. The team will have individual workouts where maybe an assistant coach puts you through a workout or something like that, or the whole team has a training session and you're working on conditioning, or y'all are doing a jump shot training session, or y'all just shoot 1,000,000 jump shots all throughout the practice session. Understand, if you're going to be a pro at what you do, your training must go above and beyond the training that is offered to everybody in the group. You can't just do what the group does. You got to do some of your own stuff. When I played professional sports, for example, and I talk about this still to this day, I always made sure I was doing more than just what the team required. So even if the team had, of course we had our own practices as a team, and we had our workouts, and the coaches would sometimes schedule individuals. You got an individual workout with an assistant coach. All of that, I always knew in the back of my mind, actually in the front of my mind, I always wanted to be doing more than just what the team required, because if I only did what the team required, that means then I would only be improving at the same rate as everybody else on the team. I wanted to improve faster than everybody else on the team, so I always did extra workouts that the team had nothing to do with, didn't tell me to do, just because I felt like doing it. Even when I was young, trying to get better at basketball when I wasn't even that good, I understood that in order for me to catch up to all the players who were better than me when I was 15, I had to do some training that they weren't doing, because otherwise I couldn't catch up to them. They were already in front of me. So I had to do extra. If you're a pro at what you do, again, lawyers, doctors, teachers, it doesn't matter what you do. You can be a trainer. You must be doing extra stuff, not just what everybody else does if you're serious about your craft, because that's how you get ahead of everyone else, is you have to do some extra training. That's training. Training is about intentionally getting better in a monitored way. You got to be monitoring it for it to be training. If you're just going in there doing stuff, that's not training. Training is somehow being watched, monitored either by you or by somebody who's around you to help you get better. So we got workouts, we got training. The third level is practice. Practice has one purpose and one purpose only: to get you ready for the game. That's the only reason you practice anything, is to get ready for the game. Purpose of workout is to maintain. Purpose of training is to improve your individual performance. Purpose of practice is to get ready for the game. Now understand that if you are let's say a tennis player, for example, your training and practice could kind of, in many ways, be the same thing because it's just you. But if you play a team sport, you're part of any type of team situation, then your training and your practice won't always be the same thing, because what is asked of you within the concept of the team may not be the same as what you're working on individually as a person. For example, when I play basketball, sometimes I might be on a team where the coach is asking me to play a role on that team that I know I'm not going to be playing at wherever I'm going next, on my next level, or maybe just on that team. We have a hole in our personnel, so they need me to fill a role that I don't really want to fill. But because I'm a team player, I'm going to fill the role, but I know I'm getting ready to do something else. So for example, I would get a lot of ball players who would say to me, Dre, I'm like 6'4", and on this team that I'm playing on, they got me playing center or power forward, but I know if I go play in college or go play pro, I'm going to be playing guard. So what can I do? They would think that they need to go to the coach and ask the coach to let them play guard. No, you do what the coach asks you to do because you play on a team and you got to be a team player. But for the purpose of where you want to go next, you need to work on your guard game during your training. But when you're in practice with the team, you need to do what the team needs you to do. So you can look at many players who went and played pro that played at local high schools, like Kobe Bryant, for example. Kobe on his local high school team was often the biggest guy on the team, so he was kind of like the center. But of course he had guard skills, so he worked on his guard skills on his own time, training time, and then when it came time for practice with the team, he did what the team needed him to do. And he bought into that concept. And Kobe Bryant, I think we can agree, was a pretty good player. So the purpose of practice, folks, is to get ready for the game. So whatever you're going to do in the game, that's what you do in practice. And if you're not doing it in the game, you shouldn't be doing it in practice. If you want to be a guard in college, but on your high school team you're asked to play power forward, then damn it, in practice, do what the power forward is supposed to do. Don't try to prove that you're a guard in practice in high school, because that's not what the team needs you to do. The team needs you to do what the team needs you to do. If you want to work on your guard game, that's what you do on your own time. If you're serious about being a pro, you should have your own time anyway. So the purpose of practicing, folks, is only to get ready for the game. Outside of sports, if you're a salesperson, what's the purpose of practice? What do? Usually you do some kind of role play. You practice somebody giving you an objection, or somebody saying, I don't have the money, or I got to talk to my spouse, or I got to talk to my CFO. How do you respond to that? How do you handle that? How do you deal with the back and forth? That's the purpose of practice, also known as role playing. You do that to get ready for the live situation. Any professional must practice. Nobody's good enough as a professional to just roll out there in the game and do stuff and have it work. You must actually practice for it. Fourth modality is the game. The purpose of the game is there is only one outcome of a game. And it's one word, starts with the letter W, and that is win. Purpose of the game is to win. You define what the win is. If you're a salesperson, the win is probably closing the sale. If you're a booking agent, the purpose is booking the next appointment. If you're a matchmaker, the purpose is getting people to go on dates. If you're a basketball player, the purpose is winning the game. So you got to define, based on your profession, what is the game for me, and how do I know I won the game? You need to define winning the game. What does it mean for you? How do you know that you won? It needs to be in a measurable way that anybody can see and check the box and say, we won the game because this happened. It needs to be black and white, not anything subjective or relative. You got to know what the game is. The purpose of the game is not to have fun. The purpose is not how you play the game, nonsense that people say. If you want to have fun, cool, but that's not the purpose. When I played sports, I never played a sport to have fun. I had fun winning the game. I played to win the game, and winning the game is fun. If I didn't win, then I needed to do something to work on my game, probably my training or my preparation, my practice, so that next time I played the game, I could actually achieve the outcome of winning. So these are the 4 modalities. Working out is the maintenance. Training is intentionally getting better. Practice is what you do to get ready for the game. And the game is the actual thing that counts, that wins. And usually you can find out what your win is by asking yourself, what helps me advance in my career? You want to advance as an athlete, you probably got to win some games. Yeah, you got to have some games, but you got to win some games too. You want to advance as a lawyer, you got to win some cases. You want to advance as a salesperson, you got to close some sales. You understand? So you need to figure out what is the bottom line outcome that needs to happen in my line of work. And all of you should know. Whatever you do for work, you should know what the bottom line outcome is, what it looks like, and how to achieve it. And if you don't, you need to go back to your training. And if you want to call yourself a professional in what you do, you must be doing all of the above. You can't be doing just 1 of these or 2 of these or doing it when you feel it. You got to do it all the time. You must be doing all 4 if you're a pro at what you do. Or you must have done all 4 if you want to call yourself a pro. So you can't call yourself a pro at anything if you have not done all 4. The workouts, the training, the practice, and the games. You got to have done all of them. Now, a lot of people haven't done any of them, but they have a lot of opinions. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes the best analysts never played because they're good at explaining stuff. And there's sometimes people who played, but they don't know how to explain it, so they're not good at being analysts. And sometimes you get the magic mix. People like myself who both did it and they can explain it. But not everybody can do that. A lot of people did it, but they don't know how to talk about it because they're not good communicators. That's a different skill set. Whole point, folks, though, is that you need to know the 4 modalities of anything that you do so that you know what it feels like to be a pro, what it looks like to be a pro. Anybody who calls himself a pro, check them on all 4 of these. WorkOnYourGameUniversity.com.